What's good with my people? It's Highway. Welcome back, man. I do got a heavy story, man. This is about the most difficult show that I've ever had to do. In fact, I headlined it. So, shit, without further ado, if you know me, you know me and what I've gone through in the recent years. Um, you probably know that my dad passed away in 2019. Um, it was completely unexpected. Like, we didn't know he was sick. Um, no one around him, like his wife, really knew what was up until like a month or a couple months before his body gave out. Um, so this was on August 28th, 2019. Um, at that time, in the summer of 2019, I had just finished my album, The Carpool. Um, Big album. I was super proud of it, and I was getting into the promo and stuff, which included an album release party. So all this was planned. The album came out August 23rd. So yeah, 5 days before my dad passed, this album dropped. Which, as you can imagine, just kind of jolts your entire being. Um, Luckily, all the footwork was done for like getting the album out. It was just, you know, it was already out, and then I had been in the week prior been going to every business from Trinidad to Piercy, all through Humboldt County, going to each business and putting up flyers for the show, which I was headlining, obviously, because it was my album release party. So everything was set up for the show. Um, I had Doe the Unknown on the bill. I had West Coast on the bill. I had DJ Pressure. It was at the Jam in Arcata. You know what I'm saying? The homie spot. So everything was set up. And then while I was at work on the 28th, I get the call from my dad's wife that his heart stopped. And so I left work. Me and my sister tried to drive up to him in Oregon, but like everything was failing, like quick, and I had to talk to the doctor. And they told me there was nothing they could do. So that was that, man. August 28th, 5 days after this album came out. So the next few weeks are the worst of my entire life. The worst. You know what I mean? Keep in mind, like, my dad raised me and my sister alone from when I was age 5 to 18. Single parent. So it was more like both parents dying in reality, man. That was the closest person in this world to me and my sister. Somehow I mean, and I knew I had this album release party coming up. It was looming. Hella people were excited about it, and I don't know if it was my decision or if I talked to a friend or something, and they convinced me to still go through with it. But ultimately, I decided to not cancel it. The show was set for September 21st, so exactly 3 weeks and 3 days after my dad's passing was my album release party. Maybe the second time I've headlined a show, third maybe, but it was my show. It's supposed to be this huge, momentous kind of achievement moment. But yeah, it was just a big ass challenge. Like having to practice a set with this fresh on your mind, like it's the craziest feeling, man. You have all these, witty or funny or aggressive lyrics and shit, and as you're speaking them, they're completely hollow. And in fact, they just kind of make you feel sick. But my dad was lifelong musician. He literally put a drum in front of me as a baby. He nurtured my music all since I started at age 13. Always was super supportive. And actually, I found out that he was gonna surprise me and come up to the album release party. That was his plan. So I definitely could not cancel. As sickening as it was, you know what I mean? But we did it, you know what I mean? And I practiced like a motherfucker. I was doing damn near the whole album too. I had a big set, man. So I just wanted to make sure it was something special. Got there and we rocked it, man. Though the Unknown killed it, West Coast killed it. DJ Pressure had the good vibe going the whole night. And we had a big ass turnout, man. Like, it was as heavy as the night was. I got the contrast to it in that there were a lot of people that showed up for my shit. You know what I mean? My show. And that meant a lot, and that really, really, really helped my spirit, when it was at its worst. And like I said, like, I put in mad work promoting this shit, so it paid off in that sense. But, also quite a few people knew what had just happened, and they were there for me, and that's why I love my fans and my friends. So it was a turned out to be a great night. My set, there was something else to it. You can imagine. This wasn't just like a regular performance. Like, this was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Be an entertainer, no matter what. But I think that's kind of what I signed up for. I say this shit about a lot of tough life circumstances, like relationships and shit, like sacrificing, and how no matter what, this is my baby, and I'm gonna always choose this. Well, this was a completely different test working at the same part of your heart. You know what I mean? This was huge. This was insanely huge. Like, to keep doing that, man, when all you want to do is cry, hear the person's voice, you know, it's a motherfucker, man. And I couldn't not do it, especially since he was a musician, man. He would have fucking gave me a big ass guilt trip. Yeah, if I had canceled. So I knew that he would have wanted me to keep the show going. Yeah. Yeah, bro. You'll never know like a real test in life until you experience something like that. And unfortunately, we're all gonna go through it. But with that, it opened up parts of my soul or something, my heart, one of them. It really did. It did something. It jolted me with some kind of electricity. I'm not sure about afterlives and all that. But I do think you could channel loved one's energy that passed away. I do think you can tap into a current and maybe catch them in certain moments. I'm optimistic about that. So it came a point, you know, on stage where I think, you know, my dad was right there, you know, even if it was just for a flutter, you know, because I think, you know, if at the most I could believe in like energy and they turn into like current. I mean, you see how fast light travels and sound and vibrations, you know what I'm saying? They're super fast. They, you know what I mean? So I think more or less, you know, my dad's just kind of out there bouncing around and shit, and when there's that little spark, like the music thing, I think that's when we come back, we meet again. But anyway, man, that's it, dog. And at the time of recording this video, we're about 10 days from the, I don't even want to call it anniversary, but we're about 10 days until the 3-year mark since his passing. Anyone going through it, man, losing a parent or a sibling or anyone close to you like that, it's gonna feel like your world is gone as you know it, but you rebuild and you become a different person, you know, stronger. Sadness doesn't go away, but you know, there's reasons to keep going and stay motivated. You don't need to just drown yourself in like alcohol and shit. You know, that can take the edge away. Like, I don't discredit that to an extent, but don't fall into that shit. Whatever you're doing, keep pressing on, man. And you'll find beauty in more simple things too. You'll catch these powerful, profound moments that are good for your heart in the wake of all the tragedy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying I had to headline my own show 3 weeks and 3 days after my dad passed. And I had no warning about his passing. So just keep that in mind. Like, for real. Like, for real. Alright? I'm no He-Man or none of that shit, man. I'm a very kind of fragile motherfucker in a sense. I'm very sensitive and shit. And losing my only parent, the one parent that raised me, you know what I'm saying? Here I am, bro. For better or for worse, you know what I mean? but I like to think that I'm doing good for myself, making more conscious efforts to better myself in his memory, if that makes sense. Um, just push through, man. Power through it, man. That's all you get. What choice do we have at the end of the day? You could roll over and become this puddle. You know what I mean? Which that's not gonna feel good. You know, if you're grieving, man, like the last thing you want to do is feed that endlessly. The grieving process should be a period of time, and it's different for different people. But there comes a time when the natural point where a grieving process should be transitioning into something else. Some people don't have that, and they just the new norm is to just keep fucking themselves up. Don't do that, man. Don't do that for the loved one that's passed. Don't do that for yourself. There's shit to live for. And I promise you. Life ain't never been the same, but have I had really good days since then? Yeah. I have had moments that were really great and special to me, for me. So keep all this shit in mind, man. Alright? With that being said, rest in peace, Nate Kaplan, my pops. Wherever you are out there. I hope I'm doing you proud. Alright? My people, thank you so much. Plenty more music on the way, alright? We here, baby. We here till the motherfucking wheels fall off. I always tell you that shit, alright? Let's go.